We all know that when we're settled in a job, winning games and playing well, that managing dynamics is easy. As soon as that changes, though, see the superstition videos for reasons that might occur, dynamics and morale become the bane of a manager's life. Today, in association with our friends at HelloFresh UK, I'm going to be giving you some of my top tips to help manage your dynamics and morale when things aren't all rosy on the pitch. If you like the sound of that, then please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. Don't forget our two long-term stories continue every day at 3:30, including our brand new series built in Bristol. All of those are up in the eye above. But let's head back to dynamics. It's time for my first tip. At number 3 is an interesting one. It's contract management. Now, you might think, why would I want to give a new contract and a pay rise to someone who's been contributing to a struggling team? I'm not just talking about new contracts though. Of course, if players are unhappy due to wanting a new contract, it can be an easily solved problem. In this instance though, I'm talking about simple things you can do to reduce unhappiness. For example, if you have players that are just starting to get unhappy about a lack of playing time, but they haven't yet thrown their toys out the pram or come to you with their concerns, why not check on their squad status? If it's a little bit higher than you'd like it to be, or that it reflects their role in your squad, you can normally afford to edge it down by one tier without causing any big unrest. I would say, however, keep an eye out for the little warning that they might become disgruntled though. It does pop up quite clearly if a player is likely to become unhappy at the change. With slightly reduced playing demands though, you can actually prevent that unhappiness before it occurs and save an additional headache from piling onto your dynamics troubles. You can also get a boost from making more players happy. So simple things like a contract for your backup goalkeeper. If you know they're going to be there the next season, you've not yet renewed their contract, you're in a little bit of a rut on the pitch, well, why not boost one or two players' morale? Get a new player a contract if it's a backup keeper, a couple of young fringe players in the squad that aren't looking for a big pay rise. It might be a few players that you're not that worried about, but it can make a big impact on the atmosphere at the training ground the following week. Just think of it in real life. You've got 5 people who come into the training ground, they've got new contracts, they've got a new spring in their step, they've got certainty off the pitch for the next year. Of course it's going to have a positive impact. So those little things can make a big difference, and without ruining the financial side of the game as well. But with this financial contractual side covered, let's move on to more individual player management relations. Time for number 2. At number 2 is individual chats. While not quite as influential as they were in FM22 and possibly the few years prior, this is still a crucial part of player management, both in Football Manager and of course in the real footballing world too. If you can build strong relationship with players and even become favourite personnel to some, your life is going to be a lot easier when managing your team. Let's start with the obvious one, and this is the one that I think most people use. If your striker is in a goal drought, it'll likely be affecting your side's form. An individual chat with either a little warning, maybe a kick up the backside, or perhaps a confidence boost can suddenly bring them back to scoring form. The same often works for warning players after really poor individual performances both on the pitch and in training. And a little top tip within a tip here. A player is unlikely to react badly if you use the first chat option just about the individual week when praising a player for a training rating of over 8.0 or criticising them for one that's under 6.0. Individual chats don't often offer the quick fix that perhaps my number 3 and number 1 tip do. Striker goal droughts aside, that is. But they do often allow you to keep a bit more balance, more of an equilibrium at the club when you're going through the whole season, rather than having big fluctuations in terms of morale and dynamics in your football team. On to number 1, which is all about training, and specifically ways you can use it to your advantage on the dynamic screens. Now, a number of the things that we've looked at during the other 2 tips are probably most affecting the middle area on the dynamic screen, which is club atmosphere. This is where training comes into its own, because it deals with the other 2 ends of the spectrum, the team cohesion and the managerial support. So firstly, let's talk about my old favourite screen, mentoring. As we've mentioned in several other top 3 videos, it is one of the most underutilised areas of FM because it's presumed it's only useful for 1 or 2 things, and it actually does so much more. So mentoring is a great way to improve personalities, we know that. but it's also a top way to get more players integrated into your core social group. Look for leaders that are professional and in the team's main social group to lead your mentoring groups, and use them to try and integrate some of your weaker personalities or maybe some of your more problematic complainers. Improving a few of those hidden attributes can take away a few knocks on the door at your manager's office. We've also got to talk about team training sessions too, because these can be a great way to improve areas of your dynamics. Team cohesion is often a difficult area to improve when you first join a club or when you first sign lots of players in a summer. So why not add a weekly team bonding session to address it? It's a great way to increase happiness, cohesion, and teamwork within your squad, with the added bonus of reducing fatigue if you're in periods of fixture congestion too. If your schedule is a little lighter, or maybe you have a few less injury-prone players in your squad, extra match preparation sessions can be a brilliant alternative to improve cohesion and, more importantly, your tactical familiarity. Training remains the easiest way to improve the team cohesion and managerial support of your club. Whether you're settling into a new job or going through a tricky period with results, these sessions can be the difference between a turnaround and a sacking. So those are just my top 3 tips to help improve dynamics in FM23. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments. Tell me if you have any other dynamics tips that you swear by. There's plenty of others that I have excluded from today's video. If you enjoyed it, please do add a thumbs up, subscribe for daily FM23 content, and check out my special discount link for today's sponsor HelloFresh UK at the top of the description. All the key Football Manager playlists and the Twitch channel are in the eye above. I'll be back next Sunday with another Football Manager Top 3.